And I'm back like I said I would be. I'm letting y'all know right now. The words I'm saying to you is not because I'm being paid to do so. Not because I got sponsorships or cloud or anything like that. Just part of me is exhausted, but some part of me is just ready to do whatever I can. But for the most part, I have a little bit cutie pie that I just want to have a better existence before I leave here. And that's selfish. I know. But she's not the only sweetie pie that was grace this earth was graced with that deserved that too. Just saying. Anyway, I didn't wipe my face up and everything. Because y'all need to be able to hear me. But I'm a big old crybaby. Y'all just going to get past it. But now, when I say nobody's beyond redemption and I was born with that package, and I don't know why I was born with that package. Because again, sometimes I think kindness can be perceived as weakness. And everybody who has perceived it that way, at least with me, found out that wasn't the case. It's the epitome of F around and find out. So, but there are times I just let people get away with stuff because I see that they don't know no better. It's like, you don't know no better. It's kind of like that kindness training that I put myself through when I asked, prayed to be able to control my anger. The people who attacked me, when they were attacking me, I was like, I know I can fight, so this can't be a test of that. I know I can wipe the floor with a good amount of them, so that can't be a test of that. I actually sat down and I realized I learned. You can see it too, like in your own existence, when you realize something is happening. You're like, ask yourself why it's happening. It might stop you from doing a lot of foolishness and participate in a lot of foolishness. Even if you just ask yourself, what am I supposed to be gaining and learning from this? What am I strength training for? That's what I like to do. What am I strength training for? It took a lot of strength to not get hostile in those moments. It's like it took a lot of strength to not get hostile because especially when I'm like genuinely, my feelings are genuinely hurt and I don't understand why I'm being attacked or harmed, and I know I can fight back. That's the times I'm like, oh, you want to mess around? You want to see if I'm really about it? But who am I proving something to? I had to get to that point where I'm like, who am I proving something? What? No, bye. Y'all won, bye. And went on to my piece. But it was strength training me to take my ego out of it and see the pain, see the manipulation too. Because if we fight each other, we can never work together. And if I hurt them hard enough, they'll never be around me or anybody else to even potentially live up to their own greatness. And see, it took a lot of work to get to that point, to see beyond that, see beyond somebody's doing in the present moment, to see what they can potentially the collective can potentially gain from them. So yeah, I had to eat it a lot of time. That don't mean I liked it, but I understand it better now. I was learning how to be patient with myself and others. Just because a kid doesn't mean you should. Some people need to hear that twice. If you need to, go on here and run it back. Because you can, that don't mean you should. If you gotta prove that you are a badass, I reiterate, you gotta prove that you are a badass. I'm gonna tell you what you're not. Now, if you're doing so you can let somebody know, don't come over here with that. Please don't make me have to. Because I have to. See, there's a difference between wanting to so that your ego can be satiated and having to so your personal safety and protection can be honored. Okay? So I'll go straight into the conversation of redemption. I don't believe anybody. Excuse me. Oof. Excuse me. I should start this video all over again. I should. But I'm comfortable in my living room, so y'all just gonna have to take the excuse me and keep going. I don't know why I was built with that. Constantly trying to understand what someone else's point of view is. I don't super love it all the time. I'll be honest with you. Sometimes I just want to cut somebody out, stump a mud hole in them and call it good and go on about my business. But I think some of us were built so that we are not like that for a reason. Because if we were all like that, there would only be animals and plants on the planet. There would be no humans. Because we would all just kung fu fighting until everybody died. Some of us need to be lovers at heart. Or at least, nonetheless, I'm sorry. At the very least, not nonetheless. At the very least, be kinder to ourselves and others than even what someone deserves in that moment. Or what we feel that they deserve in that moment. Okay? And that, I think with them, I learn from my old self all the time. And I tell people that come to me for help, don't you shit on her. Don't you shit on the past self. Because the past self is what walked you here. Don't you know you was them? Don't you know that they're the ones who made the decisions that led you to the point where you are now? So you was an addict. So you was a dropout. So you did this or that and the other. But are you doing that now? No? That means that they made the decisions back then to stop doing those things. They were stronger than you. You have an easier life because of them. So don't shit on them. But also they did a lot of wise things outside of the things they were actively involved in that was causing them hurt, pain, and strife to get you here. Okay? For me, one of those moments I look back on and like, I don't know where I got this from, where this strength comes from, where the empathy came from, but it came from somewhere. See, when I was much younger, I plotted, and I was not using my brilliance for good in certain ways. See, when I was runaway and homeless and all this stuff, and I got back up to this particular story. I got back up to pretty much anything I could tell y'all on here about myself. It could be backed up with receipts or people or witnesses, whatever the case may be. But I applied it for a very long time. Oh, what would happen if I ever saw my father again? And I mean, down to the least detail, ain't getting away with it. I was a child when I did this. Oh, for sure. I still had the love and kindness that I expressed to other people, but that was always in my mind, and I would plot and plan every now and again in my free time because I knew I was going to eventually see him again. I just knew I was. Even if I had to search him out, I was going to find him, and I was going to do what my family lacked the resources or ability to do, and that was dispatch him to his ancestors. Mm-hmm. Well, our ancestors, because he was my father. But what happened, y'all? It's like, why would you think something like that? What kind of child would think something? Somebody who went through hell? I'm just saying, somebody who went through hell. It'll be plain. Make it plain for you. I'm going to keep it short and brief and plain. My mom and my dad had a beautiful relationship until it wasn't beautiful. And then whenever she would get enough of being abused, she would leave. She would run off with the nearest person who was kind to her. I understand that. I got it honest. And after a while, she was like, okay, this time is permanent. He wasn't having it. And he took her from this world. And I was a witness to that. What made the egregious assault worse was that I felt like he got a slap on the wrist for taking a life. And it was the dishonesty that happened within that whole dynamic. I saw what happened. But as a 7-year-old child, who gonna believe me over adults? And that's what happened. So I will tell you at this time, the challenge for me was to somehow live my life knowing that that's a part of my history, my lore, as they call it nowadays. But I wasn't the type to just take that. I wasn't. I was never born the type to just take stuff. So he was going, like, it was already gone. It was a done deal for me. As soon as I see you, because I know they only give you 7 years. As soon as I see you, they give him 14. He served 7. I don't think they gave him 10. He served 7. And so I'm going to see you, and when I see you, that's what's going to go down. I'm laughing at my young self because she was really on some Beatrix Kiddo stuff. I mean, trained myself with edge weapons and everything. So I understand what it's like to be angry, loves. So I ain't sitting here as somebody who had perfect sunshine and rainbows life. I'm sitting here as somebody who went through some stuff and telling you to love. So by the time I was 14, I finally got that opportunity because one of his partners contacted me out of nowhere and wanted to see me and talk to me. Now, I didn't know she had ulterior motives. She was trying to win my dad's affection for some reason, decided that he was going to, all he wanted was to find his children, get his children back, and she did that for him. Child, I don't understand the motives of people sometimes, but at that time, that's what she did. So, I was fully willing, ready, and prepared. What they did not know is I had a plane showing up to that mall that night. But when I saw his face, I could feel his sadness and his joy at seeing me. I felt overwhelming love from him and pain. I can't explain it to you. I'm like, I can't do nothing to this man that he ain't already done to himself. I left him be. To this day, he does not know that. That was going to be his last headache that day. There's only one other person who knows that. It was one of those people who took me in when I was without a home. And after that, I chose to try to have a relationship with him. And he's messed up more ways to Sunday. It wasn't until he messed up like the third or fourth time that I was like, okay, I don't hate you. And no, I'm not going to dispatch you to your ancestors, but I'm going to let you be so I can be in peace. I don't have to hate you for that. I'm protecting myself and my children from you. Because you changed only a little bit. But based on what I learned from him, getting to know him as an adult, and what I learned from my grandmother, his mother, told me everything I needed to know about that, is that change ain't going to come from him. It's going to have to come from me. The onus is on my shoulders to try my best to love my children right. And here's the thing. You have to have help with that sometimes. And a lot of times I didn't have help with it. I don't think I did a great job of it. I tried though. So what I can do is say these things and say these words to you so that maybe, just maybe, some of you can learn how to love each other right. From a person who's had to love beyond all faults. And believe it or not, I'm telling you this story. And the fact that I say that saying to people is the only thing he ever gave me that was worth a damn. Other than the trauma. I was looking beyond somebody's fault and see their need. See, I was already doing that in my life, but I never had words for it. He gave me the words for it. And it's the only thing he ever gave me that was worth a damn. And I still don't hate him. I used to think I did until I saw him that day. And all I had was empathy for him. I don't think that's special. I think we all, because we're all coming from the same genome pool now, y'all, have the ability to empathize in that way with each other. We have this. But is it activated? I think some of us have it activated, some of us don't. But it's in us. I think some of this is my way of hopefully activating it in some of you. Because you can have money, you can have clout, you have the fame, you can have all kinds of things, but you ain't got empathy activated. I don't know what you can do for anybody other than something for yourself. And again, that is a valid choice. Just don't go out there making everybody else's life miserable while you're making that valid choice. That's all I ask. There's some people who think the collective, most of the collective's too dumb to get concepts like these. I don't think so. I wouldn't be, again, I don't waste my time for nobody. Literally. I'm spending time with somebody and I feel like they're not fun to be around or they're irritating me in some way. I'm gonna go ahead and take my leave and go home now. Well, I'm gonna send you home. Why? Because I'm not having fun right now. I'm one of those people. I'm not gonna be polite to you. I will be kind to you, but politeness is not in my bag unless I'm at somebody's job. And I gotta be polite. What am I wasting time being polite for? I don't understand. Empathy doesn't require that. Empathy requires genuineness and kindness. That's it. And if you know how to do that, you know how to do a lot of things. Hold on, let me see what is battery. Now look what I done done. I'm sorry about that, y'all. My battery is dying. I didn't realize my battery on my phone was dying because I also use this to work whenever I'm seeing somebody. So I'm using my phone for this and I'm using my phone to work. You're gonna be seeing a lot of me. Because every time a thought reaches me, I'm not gonna wait. I'm gonna go ahead and talk to y'all and get as much out as I possibly can. Maybe it'll suck in a vacuum of hate and pain and spit out some love. Something. And I told that to you for no reason. I don't need no. I'm gonna tell y'all here, right now. Just sometimes people can know me for years and not know that about me. And I just said it publicly. There's a reason why people don't get to know that about me immediately when they're starting to get to know me, and it takes a long time for me to say that about my history or my lore. I don't need condolences. I don't need that. And I'm sure it comes from a good place, but Lord knows I'm all right. What I need is if you feel something, take that feeling and go give it to somebody that you think might need it. That ain't me. Give it to somebody else. Give it to a stranger. Do you know how wonderful it is to go outside and just compliment strangers? Find something about them that you like and tell them. You are literally spreading love. Literally in real time, you can see it happening. Do that. Because I tell y'all, the reason why I'm doing this, yeah, we have Army, my little princess. Not princess's little princess. And I'm not saying that in some gender conforming way. I'm saying I just see her as royalty, period. And that's the name I know for it for right now. Deal with it. Let me be me. You do you. But I'm saying this because I genuinely want to see more kindness in the world, generally. Honesty in the world. Genuinely. And any pain that I express here through my stories, this is the selfish part. I want it to mean something, even if it means that pain was to teach you something and to teach me something. I'm learning when I'm talking to you too, because I'm remembering stuff that I forgot. You know what I mean? I think it is a beautiful and special thing that I can sit here with you and tell you that I want love and kindness. Cause there were times, child, I'm like, crash and burn it all. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. I didn't told y'all before. With the skill sets that I have, I could either be a superhero or a supervillain, or nothing at all, and sit here and just live my life. All those options are afforded to me at this time. But I choose to sit here and talk to you, and share with you, and be open with you in a way that sometimes is challenging. Because you need to know. At least I feel you need to know. Maybe you don't. Or maybe you need to see an example of somebody who's still loving, despite. If nothing else comes of this, and that you see a face of someone who genuinely loves and still loves despite the pain and the struggle, you know what that looks like? And it helps you be kinder to yourself first, then be kinder to others second, and then choose a vibration of love no matter what you're going through and what's going on. Then okay, I'll take that as a result too. And this is a series of videos, so if you're just watching this one and got this one story, you might be confused as to why I'm saying this to you. So go back and watch the others, please. Not because I'm trying to get famous or clout. Man, listen. If you want to take the different points of view that I've been saying in these videos and make your own words and express those same ideas on whatever platform you got, go ahead and do it. Again, child, there are some things that I have been hired to do that I do not care for at this time. So if somebody else won't do it, then go ahead. Don't bother me now. They used to it. Don't no more. Anyway, that's about me. I think it is important to note that every single one of you have the capacity to forgive, to love, and all those things in between. If you want to be forgiven, you must forgive. And that's it. I'll see y'all next time. My phone about to die. You're loved.